All right, so it's good to be back outside. Yeah, so I am finally back in action out here in the woodshed and outside. I was down and out sick for like 4.5 days last week, but I'm feeling a little bit better. Not a complete 100% recovered yet, but I'm getting there. The only thing I need to take care of today is I got to get the roadside stand refilled. The bundles, I think I have enough, but I just got 2 bins I want to fill up. And then I have a question for you guys about this wood back here in my woodshed. So we'll get to that in a little bit. I better get going and refill the stand because the tractor is running and I am putting hours on it right now as it sits here. So last week before that snowstorm hit, Amanda and I loaded up this tote and I just put it in the shed for this very reason, so that afterwards or during it, whenever, however long it lasted, if I needed to refill the stand here, I won't have to go dig through piles of snow-covered wood. Because right now I don't really feel like doing that. So this works out great. I got 2 bins to fill up, and then like I said, the bundles, I still have a few extra in my overflow slots. But yeah, bundles have just been moving like crazy. And I'm thinking one of the things contributing to that is that people who burn in like a fireplace, they don't want to deal with the mess. Because let's be honest, that's one of the reasons why I have the outdoor wood boiler, is to keep the mess outside. So with these bundles, you just grab a bundle, take it in the house. Might last you for the night, might last you a day or 2. But then when you want another one, you just go out in the garage and grab it and bring it in. Because I've been noticing that a lot of people have been buying multiple. So like 4, 5, 6 at a time. And so they're not worried about the quantity of wood, because if you buy 4 bundles for 20 bucks, I mean, you would get more wood for $20 buying this loose stack. So that tells me that the convenience is their top concern, their top priority when they're buying firewood here. So it just means I gotta continue making more bundles, which is not a problem. The other thing I am definitely gonna have done, well, the plan by next year, this time, or next fall, is to have a majority of my wood in the wood yard covered so that I don't have to dig stuff out before a storm, and just to have wood under shelter. Covered, because even tarps, it sucks pulling snow out, or pulling wood out from a snow-covered tarp. So there you go. There's one of the New Year's, not resolutions, but goals here in the Back 40 Firewood wood yard. More covered wood. All right, move ahead for the next one. So some people have asked me why I don't like pre-make or have like another set of bins that I could preload and then just bring those up as needed. But if you think about it, like in this instance, for whatever reason, somebody bought that rack and somebody bought this rack. So if I would have to then wait for this rack to sell before bringing up a whole new set of them, then to me it doesn't, I mean, it just doesn't look good to have one stack sitting here, and you potentially might lose customers because somebody might want 2 stacks and they only see that you have 1 sitting here. So I just find it easier to, as needed, come and refill them, keep them full. But keeping them full with wood that's not been snowed on and frozen to the stack. All right, so a little over, well, about half of the tote to fill those 2 bins. So those 2 bins are now all filled up. And around the back here, somebody did take 1 bag out of the overflow. So I've only got 2 bags out front. And since we're here to make things look nice and full, I may as well just put all of these right up front. So now when I make more bundles up, I can just refill the back side here, the overflow. All right, bundles are restocked. Bins 1, 2, 3 are full. We're all good. All right, so if you were paying attention, you probably noticed that I did not bring in, or I brought in a different tote than the one I was pulling out of. And this is another tote that was back in the wood yard, but this stuff is full. This is full of wood I'm gonna burn in the boiler. So I'm starting to bring in some totes of wood that I can burn in the boiler because the back wall is getting a little low, and then I have this wall right here, and this is the stuff I wanted to ask you about. So you can see a lot of this stuff is split somewhat smaller, and when I stacked this in here, we stacked all this wood just to have a nice looking stack facing the outside of the shed, so from the rest of the yard when you looked over here you could see it. So some of it was split a little bit smaller than it should have been, especially for burning here in the boiler. But now, the interesting thing is, I have someone that is interested in buying a little bit more wood than what I sell in the stand, and not necessarily like a face cord. They have like a medium-sized trailer that they just want to fill up the trailer, and then, you know, we figure out an amount that we can agree on, and they'll pay me for that. So what I'm thinking is, instead of going back to the wood yard with the trailer and filling it up with wood from one of the stacks that is covered with snow, I'm thinking of just selling this stuff right here. The only hesitation I have is that this wood is already right here that I put here to use in the boiler. So now if I sell this, it would mean that I would then have to bring more wood in sooner than I had anticipated. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. I know it's 6 one way, half a dozen another, it doesn't really matter. But sometimes there's that thought process of, you already have, like this wood I set aside for my personal use. So sometimes it kind of like weighs heavy on the mind to think about selling your wood, and then you may not potentially have enough wood. I mean, I know that I have plenty of wood to bring in here. It would just mean that I would end up having to bring more wood in sooner than I had anticipated, by maybe 3-4 weeks. So really not that big a deal. So I don't know, just something that like I said, weighing on my mind, like, should I sell my wood? Or should I go back? The only thing is, it would be a lot easier to sell this because it's sitting right here. It's undercover. And again, this is why the big push for 2023 is to get as much wood as I can undercover so that I won't have to make these type of decisions. Wood that's undercover, easy to sell it, or keep it for myself. All right, so that's going to do it. I am going to go back in and continue on my path to recovery. Like I said, I'm pretty much there. If you were on the live stream last week, you probably saw, you know some of the details. It was not fun. 4.5 days, 5 days, just down and out. Like, I've never been that sick that I can remember. I mean, I spent 3 days literally either in bed or on the couch, not doing anything. Just no energy, nothing. And I tested, didn't have COVID. So, I don't know, just a bad case of the flu going around, I guess. So thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Stay safe, have fun, and be cool.